Alright guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a tough video for me to record. Originally this was going to be me explaining how to become a professional athlete from starting on day 0 and your progression throughout the years, but I felt like I wanted to do this video instead, so just hop right into it. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, let's start with number 1, why I started this channel and what the channel means to me. So I started this channel because originally 1 year ago, me and my buddy Hack traveled to Switzerland and I wanted to document our climbing trip. And that's what it was for the next 6 months to follow. Just somewhere to go, to have those videos so you can look back on them and reminisce on the moments and the memories of those trips. And to me, this channel means showing people the progression from skill level 0 to wherever I end up in the years down the line. And that's was my original goal for this channel, and still is part of what this channel means to me. Number 2 is how I got into climbing and why I fell in love with the sport. So how I got into climbing was August of 2018. This one random video popped up on YouTube of rock climbing, and after I watched that, after work I texted my buddy. I was like, hey, you want to go rock climbing? He was like, yeah, sure. So that was the first day, and then after that day I was hooked. I would go as much as I could, and that's how I slowly fell in love with the sport. I eventually started training harder, climbing almost every single day, meeting new friends, opening them up to the world of climbing, which is amazing in itself. And I slowly realized what this sport is doing for me and making me feel things and experience things that I would have never experienced if it wasn't for climbing. And just for that alone, I owe my life to climbing, and that's why I will love it forever, and I will cherish it and pass those experiences, memories down, hopefully to my children one day, so they can experience that for themselves. At first, when I started climbing, it was just a good way to be in shape and to have fun at the same time. And then when I started climbing outside, and I started climbing with more people, and started climbing in different places around the world, it started to be like a therapy session for me. I always tell this to my friends when I'm climbing: if you try to talk to me, I won't be able to hear you, because as soon as I get onto the wall, I black out and zone out everything. Just living in that moment, all my thoughts, all my anxieties, everything is just quieted, and all I'm thinking about is each individual move up the wall. And I think that is truly why I fell in love with climbing. Nothing else has ever done that for me. My mind has always been racing, has always been too loud and too much to handle most times. And climbing gives me this peace that I have never felt in my life. And normally in my everyday life, I'm either haunted by my past or scared of what my future will become. I am never living in the present. That has never been anything I could do. It's either past or future. But when it comes to climbing, I don't know what it is, but that is all I can think about. And I don't know how to say this. It basically saved my life through all the shitty days and years that I've had in my life. Climbing is something I could always count on. It was something that could always, even if I had a bad session, it was a good therapy session, a good mental session. Everything, I didn't have to worry about anything besides climbing. So I never got mad if I had a bad session. It was still good for me. And for the past 6 or so years, I've been battling with severe depression and anxiety, and there's only a handful of people that I actually know in my life, and it's kind of hard for me to say this because my parents will probably watch this. But the reason I'm making this video is because for the past few months I've been obsessed with this idea of training hard and wanting to become a professional climber. And I was slowly losing my love for the sport. And I was just being obsessed with not being good enough, not being strong enough, and frustrated at myself for not progressing as fast as I wanted to. But yesterday I watched this film called Stone Locals. It was put on Patagonia's YouTube channel. And one of the people that they interview, me and my buddy actually went to that forest and we met that person. And watching that film and those people struggling with their own demons and persevering and making climbing their future, it really hit something inside me, and it made me be able to take a step back and look at my climbing career as a whole, and it helped me rediscover why I started climbing and why I love this sport so fucking much. And I want to get back to those roots. I want to stop worrying about trying to be the best climber I can be. I just want to climb, period. I don't care where it is, what type of climbing, just climbing makes me feel alive. And I want it so desperately bad to be my future. I don't care if I make money from it or anything, I just want climbing to be with me for as long as I live. And watching that film made me pretty emotional, just realizing how far I strayed from my original thought and from my original goals. My obsession almost made me hate climbing because I wasn't good enough. I wasn't as good as I wanted to be. And that makes me unbelievably sad. And I knew something had to change. I just needed that trigger. And I'm so thankful that that video came out when it did. Because I was losing all motivation to go out and climb just because I was losing that purpose. I don't want this video to be super long. I want to start to wrap it up. But I wanted to make this video to share my story with whoever watches this, probably no one, and to show what an amazing sport climbing is and what you can get out of it, and wanted to tell people that watch these videos that I'm going to strive to get back on that track of traveling to amazing places and just to climb to have fun. I'm not going to train as hard anymore. I just want to connect with climbing again. I want to fall in love with it for those reasons, not for money or fame, whatever. I just want to love climbing like I used to. And if you want to follow me on that journey, I make videos semi-regularly, but if you enjoyed, please subscribe and hit that like button. Peace.